Wonder if you need to see a therapist? Well, keep watching and you'll find out my top 7 reasons that you might want to see a therapist. If you've been here before, it's great to see you again. If you're new here and you think you're going to like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well so you'll get the latest updates on whenever I post new content. This is a question I get asked a lot. I figure since I do this mental health thing, I might answer it for you and give you some ideas here, some things to consider. These are in no particular order. So number 1, unexpected mood swings. So if you're going along in life and your mood has generally been in one, not necessarily stuck in one spot, but you've been pretty level, like everybody has their ups and downs. But if you've been pretty stable in your patterns and then kind of out of nowhere, you just suddenly find yourself having pretty unexpected mood swings, maybe you just find yourself uncontrollably crying a lot, or you're getting really angry about some things, or just whatever else it is, you want sleep all day, but a lot of this just kind of comes out of nowhere, you don't know what's happening, you might want to consider speaking to a mental health professional. Number 2, you think you might have a mental health issue. Sometimes we get in these spots and we're just not real sure what's going on, and if you get it in your head at all that you think there might be something going on with you, then by all means, please contact someone. People like myself, we can try and help you walk through things to see if there really is a legitimate issue. A lot of times people come in here and they don't actually have what we would consider a clinical mental health issue, which is you definitely need to be here, or maybe you need to see a psychiatrist and get on some medication, or whatever the case is. That actually is not most people that come to a counseling office. That is a fair percentage, but that's not everyone. So if you do think you have an issue that's been kind of eating at you, go ahead. Try and find a counselor in your area, make that call, set up an appointment. A lot of us are pretty user-friendly. I get a lot of inquiries, and sometimes I don't even see people. They've got some questions. I just go ahead and answer in the email. But again, if you got an issue or you think you have one, contact somebody. Number 3, harmful thoughts. So we got 2 basic kinds of harmful thoughts. One's where you're going to harm someone else, or you're going to harm yourself. Now, if this is an emergent issue, meaning like if you don't go do something about this like right now, someone's going to get hurt pretty quick. Either dial 911 or go to your nearest emergency room. Do not wait. Do not try and make an appointment. Just get stuff done. Now, if it's sort of a little more low level, go ahead and contact one of us and we can help you walk through that. Now, here's the deal. I used to work at the psych hospital. I don't want any of my patients to have to go there, and I work pretty hard to help my people to not have to go there. So if that's a concern, sometimes, like if it's the option of death or life being we're at the psych hospital, we're going to choose that one. But I don't like any of my patients to go there. But sometimes that's a thing. But again, if you're having any of those harmful thoughts, you need to get in touch with someone. Number 4, anhedonia. Now, this is a fancy way of saying that you have lost interest in activities that you used to find really enjoyable or pleasurable. Now, this could be literally anything. If it's a hobby, if it's a general life thing, if it's your job, if it's your kids, your partner, it could be anything. But if you find that something that for a long time you've really enjoyed and suddenly you don't enjoy it so much, you're just not doing it at all. Or, if you exercise regularly for years and then just suddenly you're like, screw it, I'm not going to exercise anymore, you might go consider talking to someone. That can be indicative of a problem, but it's kind of hard to know until you go figure that out. Number 5, substance abuse. Pretty simple. If you're using alcohol to excess, if you're using prescription drugs or over-the-counter medication to excess, if you think you're using a substance just too much, you think you got a problem, or people around you are concerned that you have a problem, then go talk to someone. Make that call, set that appointment up. We can help you to try and figure things out. We can figure out options for treatment and see if we can get you in a better spot with all that. Number 6, either you or a lot of people around you think that you have 0 healthy relationships, like you just suddenly find yourself where you just realize this is the pattern. It doesn't always mean that you specifically have the problem, but sometimes it's hard to look at these things, and this is a pretty common thing that I hear is, people come in and they say, I just have problems with meeting people, or I have problems dealing with people. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's the other people, sometimes it's a combination of things. But the only way to figure that out is to talk to somebody about it. And if you don't have a good, supportive person with a lot of insight that can be objective, if you don't have that person in your life, you might want to come talk to someone like me. Number 7, you feel you just need an outside perspective on something that's going on in your life. Now, that could be anything. Maybe it's a transition period in your life. Maybe you're questioning things about parenting or your partner or job. I mean, it can be anything. But sometimes, and it doesn't mean you don't have any good support in life, but sometimes the people that are in our lives, they aren't going to be quite as objective as we want them to. And I would say, honestly, if I'm going to put these are really in no particular order, but if I'm going to put any weight on anything on this list, I would say it's this one. In that, the one benefit I think to coming to a mental health professional is I don't live with you, I'm not related to you, I'm not in your life except in this professional context. And what that means is your problems are going to look a lot different to me than they look to anybody else, and especially to you. That old saying of you can't see the forest for the trees, which usually means when it's your problem, sometimes everything looks really messy and you don't know what you're looking at. I'm, figuratively speaking, I've climbed my mountain. I'm kind of sitting on the mountaintop looking down, and things look very different from my seat. Doesn't mean we know everything, doesn't mean we have all the answers. I find that most people have all the answers within them for the most part. We're just kind of a guide to help you, but sometimes that's hard with someone that isn't as objective as they ought to be. And so I think that's one of the benefits to coming to see a therapist or counselor. And there you have it. There are my top 7 things that I think are, if you've got any of that going on, that you should consider seeing a mental health professional for. Feeling really flush. I just sneezed. Now my ears feel hot. So I hope you found that informative. If you have any questions on that, hit me up in the comments below or send me a message. If you have any comments or questions or concerns or anything, in the comments below, send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to get this community going so we can all interact and help each other. Again, if you like what you see and you want to support what I'm doing, you got all my social stuff in the description below. Please hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you can get all those current updates of when I post new content. And as always, thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.